All right, after 0-16 and 1-31, there he is, Hue Jackson, and he is back. If you've read me at all, listened to me at all, I don't think it's a good idea. I would have been in favor of coaching change, but you know, that's a subject I'm just going to let go. Remember this about owners. Here's the thing about owners. They're owners. Owners do what they want. John Dorsey took the job. And this came from a question myself and some others asked Jimmy-Haslam again for the second time. John Dorsey took the job with, quote, an understanding that Hue Jackson was coming back as coach in 2018. So Dorsey, the general manager, knew that's what he got. All right, if I'm John Dorsey, I'm going to sit down with Hue Jackson and talk about a couple of things. One, they're already addressing, which is getting an offensive coordinator. They're beginning to talk to some candidates, and that would be too much. But say, just in general, Hue, you are doing too much. And sometimes not doing enough. You're like doing too many little things, and you're missing the big picture on stuff. So an offensive coordinator would help. And also, I think that sometimes when we ask Hue Jackson questions about the defense, of someone like, well, that's Greg Williams' department, it's almost like he was oblivious to the defense. I'm sure he paid some attention to it, but certainly not enough. And by the way, Hue, sit down with Chris Tabor or change special teams coaches. You've got to get those special teams fixed. All right, so that would be one. The next thing I would say to Hue Jackson is, I don't want to hear any more about the team being too young. Stop it. Stop this too young stuff. That's what the team is. By the way, and this is one of my I really hate, we got to play a perfect game to win. That is, you know what that tells your players, Hue? It tells them, we can't win because nobody plays a perfect game. Come on, Hue, you knew that. Quit making the excuses. So no more, we're too young. No more perfect games. In fact, you know what? You should just rip that right out of your playbook and throw that out. So that one's gone. Finally, you know what he could have said this year? We can win some games. This kind of sounds odd. We can win some games. That's what your players wanted to hear. At no point did Hue Jackson ever say that. He just kept trying to explain the losses. What you want to turn it around and say, look, I know it won't be easy, but we could win some games. We've been close to winning some games. Jason McCourty, Duke Johnson, and some other players, frankly, admitted at the end of the season they were tired of hearing that the team doesn't have any talent, tired of hearing the team was too young, because they are playing to win some games. And sometimes I know Hue felt maybe he was, quote, being honest or whatever, but it came across as almost a Sisyphus. Remember, Sisyphus is the guy that kept going up the hill, going up the hill. Next thing you know, he got flattened by the rock, up the hill, flattened by the rock. It's great Greek mythology, but it's lousy NFL coaching. So, Hue, a couple of things. Get that offensive coordinator thing straightened out. Work on your special teams, whether you have to change with Chris Tabor or get him some players that will make those special teams better. Because these are things that could be done that are not earth-shaking. And then quit with the perfect games and being too young and all that stuff. Hue, this is your third year. You got a new boss in John Dorsey. I hope John tells Hue Jackson some of this and probably some other things too.